people, you're welcome to another interesting edition of Interviews with Tiwa Says. And I have an amazing creative in the house. I'm sure you're already wondering, seeing her, who's this pretty chick? She has something up her sleeves and she's going to be telling us all about it today. But first, she's going to be telling us a bit about herself and how she got here and what informed this journey. So let's go.
Hi.
Hi.
I walked in through the gates. That's how I got here.
Tell us about yourself, your background, everything.
Okay.
Your name to start with.
Fantastic. Hi, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Amma Abena, and I am a singer-songwriter, creative producer, director, story developer, a filmmaker.
Jesus, in one person, I told you.
Filmmaking and music is sort of what I do. I also write short stories. Mostly, but yeah, that's pretty much. I'm part Nigerian and part Ghanaian in terms of origin. Yeah, favorite colors are yellow and green. I don't know what else I can offer the audience.
So, what part of you is Ghanaian?
My dad.
Your dad.
My dad's Ghanaian.
Okay. And your mom is from?
She's from Akwa Ibom State.
Oh, okay. So you have a brother in the house. Okay, so tell us, how did you get here? You said you are a director, a writer. How did you start and where did you start from?
So music has always been like the top, well, pretty much the most important thing for me. And I started singing very young, as most musicians, I started from their mother's womb. I figured I had some sort of talent singing, but I didn't think it was a thing, to be honest. I thought we all could do it as a child of like 11, 12.
Okay.
And I remember just I had like a choir rehearsal with one of my aunts.
Okay, because I was going to ask that, did you start in church? Because it looks like most people started in church.
Yes, I did start in church. So she had a rehearsal and I liked to follow her everywhere at that age. So I was very excited. We got there and we were just singing. I think it was like they were about to start rehearsal. So we're starting with like worship, just like, And then I started singing and I started singing with them. And I think I was singing alto, if I'm not mistaken. And the choir director just looked at me and said, you should join the choir. And I think that was really the first time. I didn't think it was much of a big deal at all. So that pretty much started and I sang a lot. But my first song that was produced by one of my friends in school came out in I think it was 2020 that I found it. That was my first proper introduction working professionally in music. So that was 2020.
And how was that?
It was interesting. It was good because that's how I got my, if I'm not mistaken, my first and my second manager. When I moved to Lagos, it was people's first introduction to what I could do, how I could sing. Okay. And I'm telling you that even with my new body of work, a lot of people still really go back to that song. They're like, what is the first song where Amma? They always call. And it's really an interesting beginning because before I released that song, I had written over hundreds of songs.
Wow.
And I just had it because I usually carry my songbooks all around the place.
Okay.
So when my friend had disturbed me quite enough to say, hey, you need to release one song.
Yeah.
From like second year, I think he was mentioning it. But I was like, so I used to honestly quite think that music or being able to sing was somewhat of a pure water talent. That's what I used to call it. Yeah, I'm
Indeed.
like, we all have it. It's not that big of a deal. So I didn't really take it so seriously. So I didn't really put too much importance into it. So I decided to finally, once I looked through the hundreds of songs that I had, and my friend who was a producer at the time, still is, sat down and I looked through my voice notes, through everything. I was just like, okay, what is going to be the first song that will come out of me? And that was Breadcrumbs, and it was quite interesting. And music and film were two of the things that made me move to Lagos. Okay. Because I felt like it was a place where I could really learn and I could really thrive, just sort of start and sort of just get into the business as much as possible.
So how would you say the journey has been so far? Like everything, not just the music, the other parts of you. Yeah.
I do think it's been I don't know, it's been one for the books. Because like as with any creative, I mean, being an independent artist means you don't necessarily have funding for your work. So you do a lot of things yourself. I remember when I released my first EP in 2022, I went straight back in the studio and started, working on another set. And it's been, I remember at that time I was saying, God, I really can't afford the thing I'd done for the 2022 EP, I don't want to have to do it again for this one. And I mean, it's not much easier, and that's the truth. But it's I don't know. I have humility for the art, and I'm sort of thankful for it. So I don't know. I do what I can. It would I guess maybe make sense at some point. I really enjoy music. So if not for anything, it's a nice thing to do.
So what would you say the creative community in Nigeria is like? What would you say? Is it encouraging? Do you think there are prospects? What would you think? What do you say?
I do think it's thriving. I think one of the places that I've really sat on, especially for this year, is collaborations. And finding those people that are your people. And I think I learned very early on to stop reaching to the apples at the top of the tree. Because there are people that are sort of at your level, and we're all learning, and we're all grinding, and we're all like, the people that you can call and say, what's up, I'm doing a shoot, and you're like, okay, how is it happening? We'll pull up, we're carrying lights, we're fixing budget, and and we need that to grow. We need that. So I've sort of found that, and I have friends that are in that space. So it's really helpful. Like, for example, I have a listening happening in a couple of days, and I cannot tell you how much my friends have sort of jumped on board to do what they can for me. But at the same time, always, it's also, as much as it can be, community can impact, it's also a very solo life, quote unquote, because there's not much. Everyone is doing so much and trying to make something of their life. So there's not much you can say in terms of, can I put 50% of my load on you? You still have to do this and do, because I designed my new EP, I designed my covers. But at the same time, one of my friends took the photograph, one of my friends directed the shot, one of my friends helped me style. So you know what I'm saying? So it's a very, very thankful for the people that have been at certain points. When I was doing my 2022 EP, I had some set of people that were there at that time as well. So it's nice. It helps. It helps the process. So community, I believe community is thriving. And I feel like once people lock into, their own spaces, it sort of makes it like, I don't know, not easier, but maybe the path is clearer. That's what, I don't know, I guess. So I think about it.
Interesting. So how many songs have you released so far?
So far. So I have, I have to count. Jesus, I have Breadcrumbs. I have about 2 features. I have actually 3 features.
Albums.
If I'm not mistaken. Okay, so EPs. One, my debut EP was in 2022. My sophomore EP is coming out towards the end of November.
Okay.
The first one was 4 songs. This one is going to be 7. And in between that, there's been a couple of singles and a couple of features as well.
Okay. And how has it been?
I like how you asked that question. It's
Really? Yes.
I don't know. How has it been?
Are you motivated to do more?
To continue?
Yeah, to continue.
It can be very exhausting.
Yeah, yes, I can imagine.
Yes, it's very exhausting. I cannot tell you how exhausted I have been for the past, this year in particular. And I work, because you have to have an income. So definitely. There are many things you have to put in terms of priority. You have to try and push, because again, music is the thing that I want to be doing more for the rest of my life. Okay. So I want to put it as up there as I can, but then someone else buys your time, and you like that place that you're doing, you like what you're doing there. So you also want to sort of be sure you're giving the best. So it can be, frankly, quite exhausting. I can tell you that this particular body of work that is coming out by end of November, was already produced in 2023.
For real?
It was
How?
It wasn't mastered. I'm sorry, it was mixed and mastered in 2023. I told you that once I was finished with my I got back into the studio and I started recording for my second body of work. So I started recording 2022, and then into 2023 I was almost done. I think it was really maybe 1 or 2 songs that I kept trying to finish by 2023, and then I had it mixed. I think early 2024, we're pretty much like done. It was really just, once in a while, I and my producer, who is also doubles as my mixing and mastering engineer, once in a while, I would just be like, oh, send me this song, send me that song, because I've performed it over the years, for audiences to sort of hear the work. So it's interesting. And now once I finish this one, I'm like,
You're going on to the next.
I'm back into the studio to record another set of works that might come out in maybe like 2027.
Wow.
So there is a plan. The best, with things like this that you can do is sort of have some sort of a goal or like a plan for, the coming 1, 2, 3 years for the music, and then I don't know. I try not to look too further ahead, to be honest. I don't know if that's helpful. And I think it's a great thing. People have like foresight and vision, which is great. But I try to just see what are the 2, 3 projects I would like to do for the next couple of years, and we'll see. We'll see. So the point of the listening for me was not necessarily just to listen to the music, but to talk about the several themes, because the song addresses several themes, all together, right? The top concept being rest in place, paddle to your rest in place, which is the title of the EP. Top concept, rest in place. But then that sort of trickles down, and then there's so many other things that are happening in between that. And I think once I was ready to launch this body of work, and I reached out to some friends of mine, you inclusive, and I was, asking people, where is your rest in place? It was very interesting, the kind of responses that I was getting. Everybody's plan or journey or where they're trying to go looks very different. Very different. And it was very, just honestly, the things I heard were very interesting. I know a friend of mine has sent me something so heavy, I just didn't think I should be listening to it at all. I was just like, I don't know, this might be a bit too personal. But it gave me such perspective on, and for some people, I felt like that question, where is your resting place, can give you a perspective on the person at once. Before you don't need to take 5 years to start knowing, but like a perspective on what their dreams, life, and aspiration and goal, like what matters to them. And I sort of noticed that with that. So it's aside from, so that's sort of what I wanted to sort of bring to the physical ground, those conversations, those questions, and for people to sort of share their thoughts and, create like like a community of just with the question always, where is your resting place?
But how did you come about that?
The title,
yes.
Paddle to your resting place.
Resting place. What happened? Was it an experience you had? Was it, I don't know, an awakening? What?
No, it wasn't.
What brought that on?
When I currently cannot say if it's something about divine intervention or just knowing, but I always really know what a body of work is meant to entail. Like, what is the soul message that I'm trying to say with this body of work? And it was the same thing with my 2022 EP, which was It's Okay Not to Be Okay. The entire body of work sort of had that, like, from song 1 to 4, it had the same concept flowing through, the theme. Initially, I had a little bit of a struggle with the title, especially because I know I had a friend of mine who was somewhat dominant as an A&R at the time. When I told him I want to name this body of work Paddle to Rest in Place, he said, it's a bit too morbid, though. Do you want to sort of think about it again? Because rest in place, rest in peace, all of that. It's just sort of seems like death, as like the finality of life. And I was like, I guess yes, I'm into it, because I feel like that is what the body of work sort of talks about, is where do we truly want to end up? And what does that look like for us? What are we driving at? Because there's always the question, I don't know, for me, I feel like my mind is always circling. Where am I going? How am I going to get there? Should I be going at all? Should I stop? Should I move? Like, should I change direction? Should I turn over? Should I spin? Should I circle? There's always that thing about like, and I don't think resting place, it's not necessarily like a finality of like, where do you want to end up? That's not really what it's about. It's really, what is the core essence of who you are? Like, what really matters to you as a person? Like, when you, in all of the journeys you take, in all of the decisions you make, where is that, I don't know, maybe a couple of most important things that you always want to, at least, like something that's always true to you that you want to always maintain as you move through your life? And I don't know, I feel like things change. Like, today I'm doing music, tomorrow I might start being a farmer. I don't know. Like, I might farm tomorrow. Oh, I don't know. I mean,
we need more farmers
making
anyway.
Honey. I don't know, like berry snail or something like something random.
But you see me singing, doing that.
Who knows? But like in my bathroom, around my house. But I feel like things change with people, but there's always, I don't know, I feel like there's always something that stays very true to a person's essence. And I feel like once you lock into that and you're honest about what that is, it's an easier navigation. So that's why I wanted to, I don't know, that's why I really wanted to, I stuck to the title because I thought it was such a beautiful.
Did you have anyone think that way, except from the person you talked about? Like when you told people, like a few friends that, okay, what's your resting place, or tell me something. Did you have anyone say or feel like, oh, it's like your friend said, like, oh, it's finality, like, what do you mean? I'm not dying, or something like that? Did you have anybody feel like that? Or did everybody just get it?
No, I think that it's very, I didn't, to be honest with you, when I asked the question, where's your resting place? There was no nuance to it at all. It was left very open, very left to interpretation, very somebody else. I remember one of my friends, I reached out to me to say, oh, is this okay? And I said, I don't, like, it's your resting place. I can't really tell you what your resting place is. And I think if that is death for you, and I think, okay, I will understand if you feel like in all the things you have done in your life, where you will really find peace is at the final day. And maybe that's
actually true anyway.
It is what it is. Yeah. Maybe that's it for you. And everybody gave me very different explanations and examples and things to what they were looking at for their life, what the core essence of their being is. But I know that every time I tell people, I mean, before I started promoting body work, I feel like also started part of your resting place. They say, they say, where did that come from? Exactly. So they take maybe like a couple of, like maybe 20-30 seconds, because it's a very, I think, to be honest with you, I'm a songwriter. It
actually makes you think, you know, and reflect, like, okay, you know, sit down with yourself that, okay, where exactly, you know, what exactly am I doing? Why am I doing it? You know, where am I going? You know, you ask yourself deep questions.
I agree. I don't think we sit down with ourselves enough. I say that because I'm a very true example of like keeping it going all the time, consistently, every day, every time. And there's no that like sitting with yourself and trying to understand things. And recently I've been reading this book called Radical Acceptance. And I found I'm like probably in the middle at the point, and it's such an interesting perspective of how very important for us to grasp who we are and accept it. It doesn't mean like you are being complacent, but it is, if you are feeling anxiety about an issue, for example, you must search in and just say, oh, so this is the reason. And I think one of the things I've discovered even for myself that I have a problem with is, it's like internally in my mind, mentally, I create some sort of an audience for myself. So I feel shame for feeling shame. I feel bad for feeling bad. You know, I'm like, oh, Abena, you're too much of a, come on now, big girl, this thing shouldn't be rattling you. But it does. It's very hard. It's difficult. And I think once you lock in and you rest with, this is the feeling, this is the reason I feel this way. And then you can like change your narrative as opposed to like always trying to, you know,
cover it up.
Exactly. And you know, when people say like, people are not honest with themselves, it seems very like light, but it's such a true thing.
Yeah, it's quite
like
deep.
Internally, like how do you sit and tell yourself, okay, you know what, all right, this is how I feel, I feel very foolish, and because we're always trying to quickly change, you know, we're trying to be grown and better. I don't know, I can't speak for anybody else, but it's part of my struggles. I want to be good, I want to be better now. You know, I want to be better before I do any other thing. I want to be grown now. I want to not have those childhood traumas right now. Like, you know, I want to already be fixed. I want to be fixed. So, I miss if I'm paddling to my resting place.
Exactly. Okay, so what plans do you have for this EP? Yes, what are the plans that you have for it, you know, once it's out? Because, sorry to cut, because it seems to be like a special one. I don't know, maybe it's just the title, maybe it's the way it resonates and all that. So I feel like, you know, I don't know your plans for it anyway. So what are your plans exactly?
I'm happy to hear, like you were on a roll. Please finish.
You know, so I feel like it should go beyond, I don't know, because it's quite deep. So it should go beyond people just listening to it. Like you said, you want to create a community, you know. So I think, and that would be fine to create a community, a big one, because a lot of people can resonate with this. So that's why I say, what plans do you have? What, you know, how do you want to engage? Who do you want to engage with? You know, where, how, you know, because I don't feel like it's something that, okay, it should just come out as a song like that. No, it's deeper than that. I feel
more,
like, yeah.
I agree. I think, honestly, hearing it from you, it sort of gives prominence to some of the things I've been thinking about. Because it's always sometimes very easy for us as artists to, okay, so the song is out, you know, we do the couple of promotions that we have and keep it pushing. Especially because, you know, even as an indie artist, there's limitations to what you have capacity for. Now, I'm a creator, I'm a filmmaker. So visuals, ideologies, like all of those things are somewhat my strength. But then you have to think also like, how do you want to PR? How do you want to market? Digital campaign? Like, you know, these things are, so I try not to let that thing entirely just frustrate me. Because there's a lot to be done. Like if we're really thinking about it, there's 1,001 more ways for something to happen, for something to click. But what I think I'm trying to do with Part of Your Resting Place, you know, just in my own little way, is like you said, create that community. A couple of things I want to start is also like a newsletter that sort of also, you know, shares stories with people, and people can also share their stories, and it goes to that community, and they can feel encouraged. So it doesn't only have to be my story; it's like people's story, like your voice notes, you know, transcribed, so people can also read it and really see, like, you know, have that community and sense of things. And also, I really want to aim for like lots of live shows, because so that people can really experience the work live, sort of be part of that experience, sort of be part of that. Because once people hear about it too, they think maybe it's like very slow, but it's not. It starts very like somewhat kind of energetic. You know, towards the middle, it's a bit more, and then we go to house music, because some of the influences of this body of work is like soul, alternative, Afro house, which I'm a huge fan of generally in my work. So, I don't know, those are some of the ways that I'm trying to do it. Sort of create that community, start a newsletter, just share more content with people about people's struggles and people's life, and just people's thoughts on the subject at all, and just sort of keep it like going like that and continuously. And next year I have a thing, a project called Unwatered Flowers Die.
You and your titles.
Okay, so you know, as a songwriter, let me tell you, I always say this. I feel like I'm a better songwriter than I am a singer. I'm a really good songwriter. Please, people that don't know, listen to my body of work. Know I'm a great songwriter. Because I really, really would love to start writing like with other people and for other people. But what I'm trying to say is I have a project. It's like it's a documentary style collaborative project with other artists called Unwatered Flowers Die, where we duet a set of 3 songs. And we go and do it in culturally resonant places, bookshops, cafes, museums, you know, things like that. And we sing the songs live, you know, put it out digitally. And then another plan is hopefully we can now bring it into the live audience. Because what did I realize with Part of Your Resting Place? It wasn't just about, you know, people looking into themselves, but it's also to realize that we don't necessarily live in isolation. So that's where that collaborative body of work came, to say, okay, we don't live in isolation. You know, we can paddle like it's an internal journey, but still like within, we don't need to be alone doing the thing. And so that's sort of where that sort of stemmed from. So that's something I'm going to be filming towards the end of the year and releasing into the new year. So for the first season, I'm going to have like probably five artists, 5 to 7 at the most. You know, and what I hope for this particular project is that it leaves, you know, the shores of Lagos, because I want to do it in like, I don't know, French bakeries. I want to do it in somewhere in Portugal. I want to do it in South Africa's dance, you know, things like that. And it's a culturally resonant project. You know, it's something that is what's that word? It's a commodity that shapes itself to other places, because the core essence of it is collaboration. That's my thought.
That's interesting. Are you going to be using social media? Because, you know, social media is another, what will I say? Another
springboard.
Yes, that you can use to.
Yes, of course. It's the basis for most independent artists. Like almost there's 1 or 2 it's honestly the top. Like, because that's where the reach mostly is. You know, like you're trying to get across society. There's multiple things. There are probably even better things that I don't probably know about. But I'm conversant with social media and how much it has sort of even helped my career. And I think it's easy to belittle, because we're like, you do something and like, it's 300 views and whatever. But if you really look at it, these are people who are interested in your work and have seen your work.
Because whether by chance, you know, you have a crowd. You know, it's not for everybody. What you do is not.
Whether by chance, whether in passing. So, you know, I'm always excited every time. I'm always excited, always excited to to when people resonate with my work. And it gets worse when I see maybe somebody in real life. Because I remember I was at this event and somebody goes, "Oh, are you Amma Abena? Oh my gosh, I love your work." And this person went on about one of my songs from my last EP called Dance by Yourself, and how it has such a beautiful body, like such a beautiful song, and I was just like looking at the person. I didn't know.
Are you still talking about me?
I was so confused. I was just like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much," but I didn't. And it's because I find it very difficult to say the word fan, because it's like, I don't know. It's just because when you look at your audience, you look at your audience, you're like, oh, because social media following currently isn't like a lot. So I'm like, oh, like, like sometimes that thought of like, who's really looking at your work, who's taking it. And he was like, honestly, you have to. And honestly, I think afterwards, going home after that event, my brain was just sort of blank, because he was like, you have to keep going.
Yeah.
I love your work, and I know you think like it's, but people are watching your work. You have to keep going. It's amazing. And when I was doing I was planning for my listening, I told him, I said, I'm going to do something and I would love for you to come. So I was like, you have to, it would just be great, because I think it's also good to have people who maybe have followed your work. Yeah. And you want to create that sort of relationship with them, because yes, we don't do it for the award, the applause or whatever, but I think sometimes it's really good that, someone can say, hey, this thing you've done also impacts me. So it doesn't feel like, well, it's a solo project, like I'm the only one listening to my thing. So I don't know. I'm like I said, I have humility for the art itself.
Okay, it was great to have you today. We wish you loads and loads and loads of luck, and we look forward to your listening. Yes, we will be a part of it, definitely. And we, of course, we'll keep watching you from now on, and we can do great things together.
I'm excited. Thank you so much for having me.
Please tell us your handles, your social media handles, so people who...
Instagram, I am Abena_Amma. Same thing for TikTok. To be honest, if you just type my name, Amma Abena, like you will see it. It's not
all
really,
around.
Yeah, if you see Amma Abena, if you just type my full name, you see AMMA.
Have you heard?
Yeah, you find me.
Find her. You should look for her.
I'm not really hard to find, which is very interesting. I'm not very difficult to find. Like, once you type my full name, you will just see me online. Okay. What a time to be alive! Wow. How does your rest in place, everyone?
Yes, so look forward to it. Well, okay? You said it's not open. The listing is not open, so I would have said okay. You guys are invited.
Look forward to the album. It's coming out on the 27th of November, ladies and gentlemen. So please stream it on every single platform that you can. Send me questions send me on my Instagram. If you have a voice note, you want to answer the question, where is your resting place? Please send it to me. I will share it with my audience. I'm very, very honored, that you all care about my work.
Thank you for coming. That's all we have for today.
Thank you to people backstage looking at me awkwardly, but thank you. Thanks to you.
Don't forget to like this video and share so that a lot of people can see this. My amazing creative. And don't forget to click that notification button so you when I come out with new videos, and subscribe, please. Let's not go to that again. Subscribe. And follow us on all our social media handles at The Eagle Online. Check our bio, you see our handles there.
All right.
We'll see you next time. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click notification button, do everything.
See you next time.
See you next time. Bye.